Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. In this video, we're going to take a look at a blacksmithing class that I taught down in Goshen, Ohio at the Goshen Blacksmith shop. I'll leave a link to the information to all the classes and stuff that they're going to have there, or the page that you can go to, take a class, maybe potentially down there if you would like to. It's down just outside of Cincinnati. It's like northeast of Cincinnati. It's a really great time, really hospitable folks down there. Jamie Geyer is a wonderful dude, and it opens up that shop down there to take and allow guys like me to come down there and teach. And also people like Brian and Ed Brazil, they were there just recently, as of a few months ago, teaching classes and workshops and things like that. So if you're interested in taking blacksmithing classes or some other type of classes and stuff, go check that out. Again, the link for that, the details of that will be down in the description down below. So this video is going to be a long one, especially with this little 2-minute or 3-minute prologue here prior to the video. I'm putting this up there so you guys can get a good feel of what a blacksmithing class is actually like when you come to take and have a class with me, depending on what we're doing. This class in particular, we were actually working on scrolls and scroll development, and part of the class we ended up actually working on a really large scroll jig at the end of the class. Everybody did pretty well with the scrolls, and we moved on to making jigs and such. So it was a really good class. I enjoyed all the classmates that were there, enjoyed them greatly. All the students, they did a wonderful job, and yeah, so can't say enough about that. So without me waffling on too much, we'll go ahead and get into this video, but it's a very long video, so I understand if you want to skim on through or whatever, it's there for you. If you are interested in taking a class with me, my calendar events page, you can find that resource down in the description as well. And all you got to do, and maybe Jessica will put it up here on one of the cards, you can click on that and it will take you to my calendar events page, and you can find out all about all my upcoming events that I plan on being at, whether I'm demonstrating in a conference or if I'm teaching classes. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. We'll start with the easiest scroll to begin with, which is just a simple ribbon end scroll. Ribbon end scroll, it's a little bit different than, like, say, a fishtail scroll. A fishtail scroll will extend beyond, it grows in width as it comes to its determinant in the center. And then, a ribbon end scroll, it stays the same material, parent bar thickness in this direction while reducing in cross section. When I walked that off, the dividers came out to 6 feet. 6 foot of stock in there. That's another good thing to think about. You got a small shop. You got a small shop and you get a commission. You got to do something this big. A bunch of these. Some say a railing, a little bigger railing. You're going to have to take it outside probably. You have to work something out. Probably the biggest one that a lot of people will struggle with. Heats. Scrolling heats. You want to focus your heat on the end to get the tip rolling. And then every heat after that, when working in the coal forge, is a progressively longer and longer heat. Does that make sense? Because here, you need, from here to here, you need less inches of material heated up than from here to here. Does that make sense? This curvature here is going to take up at least twice as much material as this curvature here. So you take progressively longer and longer heats. So when you come in here, don't get all this hot and then be trying to roll out here. Because what happens is this is bending around and shifting and moving around on you behind it. So if you start with just the tip of the fire, and you roll the tip, so take maybe an inch 1 1/4 of material needs to be heated up. You start your roll of your scroll. Keep a nice intense heat on the area that you want to work, and then as you feed it into the fire, you want to increase the length of those heats. By taking appropriate heats, it helps you with the formation of your scroll. You've got a heat where this part here is super hot, this part here is red, and this part over here is orange. Which area do you think is going to bend? Super hot area, right? Like that part. Doesn't matter if you're working here, you're working over here. That spot, wherever it's the hottest, that's where it's going to bend the most. You could be whacking over here, and this will be bending this way. This will come this way. You could be literally forging here, and this will wrap back this way and collapse. So be mindful of your heats. On something small like this, it's not a big deal, but when you get into something that big, especially when we want to replicate these, I think we'll probably just make it end and pull it around the big one instead. Start it over the edge. It provides a nice backing up. You can start them on the horn. Some guys like to go straight to the horn to start scrolls, but I like having this nice square edge to have a relationship between the material to make sure that I'm coming in square with stuff. When you're over the horn, this is a taper, so it's a lot harder visually to make sure that you're hitting evenly as you're rolling this scroll. Here we go. We're going to start right on the very tip. We're going to get it bent down like that. We're going to turn it up. 2 blows back, 2 blows down. So you're just coming down, see? You're starting that initial hook. We get a little more heat in it. By the way, this is like super slow-mo, by the way. That should have already been rolled up to about twice this point. I gotta get that hot again, otherwise we're gonna get heat. We'll take it there. This should have been hotter because you're starting to see a flat there. I got a flat there. We can take care of that in the next heat, that's fine. But if you start on the horn, the part that I was talking about that, we're going over here. If you look at the end of this scroll here, you see how it's square level. Anybody see that? I know it's small. See how it's square? If you start over the horn, a lot of times you'll be hitting on it and you'll be curving one a little bit more than the other. There's a tendency because your eyes play tricks on you. There's not a straight edge there for you to gauge how square your hammer is coming in at. And your scroll will curve on you. It'll curve to one side, and then when you go to hammer it flat, you've created one side that's tight, the other side that's loose. And that's a little bit of a pain to get back to square. So a little deeper in the fire now. So we got to fix that flat spot. So we're going to come in right here. See how that took that flat out of it? Okay. Quick little brush here. Throw it back in the fire and we'll get a longer heat. I had to fix that flat spot before I went and got a longer heat on it. I didn't need it to bend anywhere else. I needed to bend right there where I had that flat started. So now we're going to take a longer heat on it and we'll roll this thing up a lot better. You have a graduated like you see there. So more stuck out over the anvil. We'll just wash, rinse, and repeat. That same thing. Again and again. Watching for flat spots developing, fixing those as you go. talk about, designing for negative space, you look in there, that's almost what? That's the negative of a snubbing. There's the negative of that snubbing. Does that make sense? And then if you look at this, this has a negative of beveling. If you look at the quote, it's a little different like that. What's that? Pull you out. Yeah, I was thinking that. What you do is just grab the from the edge back there. Bring this up there. This thing, you get some oxygen up there first. And what we'll do is shift this back to the center. It gets like that panel, and then we'll just cover that back up. Otherwise, one or two errant hammer blows too heavy for the long like that. You can do it that way. One or two. Nice long heat. more space having going around the center of this, because you just have to leave enough room to have that negative space, right? Have that finial. You have to leave enough negative space around this to have that finial in the center. So you're going to eat up a lot more material for this than what you would do for a rivet end or whatever, because you've got this fixed size diameter thing that you've got to then make a big scroll around. So any of your decorative finials, whether it be the bean end, rosette, snub, anything where you're doing more than a ribbon end or a fishtail is going to eat up more material because you have to leave room for that center element. Situation like that is perfect for going and going and going and going.